Hey team, it's Kevin Mullens, and I want to come to you with a thought this morning that's burning in my heart. You know, oftentimes we look at our circumstances and know that we could be doing just a little bit better, know that we could go maybe the extra mile. And so when we think along the lines of results and outcomes, we know that outcomes matter. If you're a realtor, outcomes matter. If you're a hairdresser, outcomes matter. If you're a parent, outcomes matter. And outcomes are the direct consequences of the results in which we take. And so if you're going to be a part of something or say you're something, it's why I say that in some cases I know a lot of people whose Facebook status says I am a network marketer, but their bank and their rank somehow forgot the work part. Because at some point in your journey, if you've been doing something 2 or 3 years or 4 years, outcomes have to show up because actions alone produce results. And so I want you to consider a story that's told in the book of Luke about a certain man that came by a vineyard whereby he had planted a fig tree and he found no fruit on it. And then he calls for the dresser of the field and he says, "Come here." He says, "I've come by this fig tree for 3 years. And in 3 years' time, it's produced not one fig. It's got the leaves of a fig tree. It looks like a fig tree, smells like a fig tree, but it doesn't produce the fruit of a fig tree. Cut it down. It's useless." Now, I'm not saying we're useless, but what I'm saying is if the spirit of Babe Ruth lived in me, I'd hit home runs. If the spirit of Picasso lived in me, I'd paint masterpieces. If the spirit of Michael Jordan lived in me, I'd win championships and just about drain every three-pointer and shot that I made, and I definitely could dunk from the free throw line. I want to suggest to you this morning that if you consider yourself to be a born-again believer, a person of great faith, that if the Spirit of Christ lived in me, and He does, but if He did, I'm telling you right now, that greater is He that's in us than he that's in our circumstances, than he that's in the impossibilities, than he that's in the mountains we face. And so I want you to rise up this morning to be charged in your spirit and to recognize that we've got a great commission to produce fruit, to not just say we're something, but to produce fruit that declares we are who we say we are.